Ah, the world of Hyrule, a medieval kingdom that was blessed by the gods, and so it was able to grow into a beautiful flower. Overall, the citizens of this land are lucky. They live a good life and are well protected from any outside threats. And that's because the royal family has built a wall around their main settlement, raised an army of guards that will protect the different towns across the kingdom, and they created a fortress from which they rule. I'm of course talking about Hyrule Castle, a building that's not only there to protect, but also to serve as a symbol of power. However, this castle has also seen dark days, and so today we will take a look at its strange mysteries and dark history. Graveyards, a place where the dead can find rest at last. But while some of these places just seem scary, certain ones are scary for a reason, because sometimes they can be haunted by the fallen men and women who were buried there a long time ago. And the graveyard that was located at Hyrule Castle during the events of Twilight Princess is a great example of this. It's located in the eastern section of Hyrule Castle, with its entrance only being accessible by digging in a certain spot near a triforce symbol. And the place itself is infested with Stelphos and Stel children, which might be the reason why it's so hard to get there. And here we also come across something quite, strange, I would say. Because in this graveyard there's a sacred tree where a cursed swordsman is buried, and this grave is surrounded by ghosts of fallen Hylian soldiers. Now in the game you use a bomb on the center of their ring, which opens up a hole where you will find a switch. And they later appear again and help you with finding the correct path through a room with fake floors. Now it's unknown who exactly the cursed swordsman is, but there are some theories out there. A lot of people think that this is the grave of the hero Shade, who was the hero of Hyrule in a former life during the Ocarina of Time era. However, I actually have a different theory. A darker theory. We don't know who this cursed swordsman is. We can't be sure at all that it's the hero Shade. Sure, it has some things going for itself, but not a whole lot. Now, my theory is based on more recent events, the War of Twilight, and I think these knights were a part of it. Because the uniform these ghosts wear look a lot like the ones of the Knights of Hyrule, and it could be that all of them are buried beneath the tree in the graveyard. It could even be that the cursed swordsman is the general of the Hylian army. Personally, I think all these ghosts were the knights that died during Xan's attack on the Kingdom of Hyrule. During the Twilight invasion, we can see that many knights fell, and that was just in the throne room. Hundreds upon hundreds probably died during this whole conflict. So it could be that these fallen knights found at the graveyard were actually defenders of the kingdom during its downfall. But why are they cursed then? Well, that's because they couldn't save the kingdom from this huge threat. That's why all the ghosts do their best to help out the hero Link. They couldn't save Hyrule, but maybe he can. And maybe they will be able to go to the light if he succeeds. The sea can be a cruel mistress. Many people have lost their life because of it, and many more will in the future. And even our hero Link has battled with these waves during his adventures in the Wind Waker era. However, back then, there was also something hiding below the waves. A secret that most people in the world don't know about at all. The old kingdom of Hyrule is buried below the waves, right underneath the people sailing above it. Now to some, all of this doesn't matter. It has no impact on their life after all. Well, that's what they think, at least. Because down below in the old Hyrule Castle, the Master Sword rests, and it plays a big role in keeping the world of the Great Sea safe. A long time ago, Ganon attacked Hyrule after being gone for ages. But there was no hero to save the world. And so in the end, they had to pray to the gods. And they were lucky that the gods decided to flood the world in order to stop Ganondorf. and so they were stuck down below. However, what I want to look at is the thing that sealed the evil away. The Master Sword. Because in the game we can see that Ganondorf's armies are frozen in time, and Ganondorf himself lost most of his power. But how were they able to do that? Ganondorf attacked out of nowhere, and they were doomed until the gods decided to save them from this evil. Well, it kind of looks like they were working on something all this time. And there are signs everywhere. And it all starts in the Master Sword chamber. This is the secret room in the castle where the Master Sword is stored, and this blade is what kept Ganondorf and his army under control. But how was this even possible? We have never seen the Master Sword do something like this before. In Twilight Princess, for example, Ganondorf lost no power at all, and this goes for a lot of other games as well. So how did they pull it off? Well, it seems like they used one simple trick to make the Master Sword even more powerful and useful. If you look at the floor and the windows in the Master Sword chamber, you can see dozens of people praying to the Master Sword and the sages of old in a circle around it. So it could be that all of them collectively prayed to the sword and combined their power to allow the Master Sword to do more. We can even see in games like Breath of the Wild and The Wind Waker that monks as well as sages give the Master Sword more powers and even abilities. So it could be that something similar happened here as well. The Master Sword was moved after all. Maybe they did this so they could give it these new powers, hide it from any threats, and to set up a trap. Ganondorf and his armies would go straight for the castle after all, because that's where you will find the royal family. So to be honest, there's a good chance that they set everything up in such a way to trap Ganondorf and his army as well. There must have been a reason for moving the Blade of Evil's Bane, and to create this special Master Sword room. So I think it certainly played a role in all of this, and it already tells you the whole story in the form of decoration. And then when they found out this wouldn't be enough, they prayed to the gods, who decided to flood the lands to give them another layer of protection and to get rid of even more of Ganondorf's forces. Thanks to this, they were able to survive until a new hero came and picked up the sword to take down Ganondorf. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check out my other videos and tell me what you thought about this video. Leave a like, click subscribe, click the bell button, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you all in the next video.